The only way that you can live your best life and achieve the things that you want is if you get out of your head, if you stop worrying about the consequences of what if everything goes bad, because at the other half of that, what if everything goes good? What if everything goes better than you expected it to? And with that being said, this is your Sunday reading, and what I'm about to tell you, I really want you to take into this upcoming week because it's going to be very important for you to understand that, first of all, tarot isn't just about the divination and about the magic. Tarot is about the psychological elements of our existence, of our brain. That is why there's only 78 cards and even more if you read upside down, but that's besides the point. That we are all interconnected, whether we like it or not, in the psychological realm. That based on our neuroplasticity, we are the creators of our reality because of the connections that we make with our neurons, with our memories, with our actions, with our thoughts, and therefore with our energy and actions. And you are the creator of that based on how you force your mind to work. If you constantly force yourself to overthink the practical versus what you actually want, if you overthink needing to be logical versus actually being happy, we always choose the logical point because that is where survival is going to happen. That is where familiarity lies. But that isn't where happiness is. That is not where magic exists. And that is not where we are going to be able to manifest anything that we want. And you have all the resources in your mind to stop yourself from overthinking, to stop yourself from living in a world of limitations and obstacles that you put on for yourself. Because if you don't see something, it does not exist. That is a whole quantum physics realm that I'm not going to discuss in this video. But you need to untie your hands. You need to understand that there is no wrong decision to make. Yes, there's going to be decisions with consequences that you don't necessarily want, but that is a good thing because you learn that that path is not for you. It is better to do and to try and to make mistakes than to sit around waiting for something amazing to happen because you are never going to live your life like that. The universe works as an algorithm. Our brain works as an algorithm. If you tell your brain that you want to achieve something, but you keep stopping yourself, your brain is not going to believe you. Your brain is going to think that, okay, well, if we're okay being in the now, that is where we are going to be. But you have to understand that you have the power. You are literally the magician in your life. You are the person who is dangling all of the cards, dangling all of the strings to achieve the life that you want, but you have to learn to work with your brain, not against it. You have to learn to work with the excitement, not the anxiety. You have to learn that nobody is going to stop you from living the life that you want except for you. If you give people the power, that's also a good point. Nothing has power over you if you do not give it power, and nobody can have power over you despite the rejection that you could be avoiding, despite the failures that you could be going through, despite the people you are going to lose if you start living the life that actually brings you happiness. You need to get out of your own head. Limitations do not exist if you do not see them. If you do not see something, it does not exist, regardless of what people are telling you. That is the whole point of manifestation. That psychologically, manifestation is seeing a goal and seeing no obstacles between you and that goal because you have something to focus on. And that is the same thing here with everything that you do. Limitations do not exist if you hyperfixate on the thing that you want. You are always going to be able to find a different pathway, and that is where adaptation comes in versus control. You shouldn't need to control anything. That is why the how doesn't matter either. Focus on your goal and focus on never losing sight of that goal. Focus on that sense of discipline. That is also where discipline comes in. 333, moving forward in the right direction. Queen of Wands is falling out. Building a proper foundation that is created from a place of passion, from a place of self-love, from a place of achieving the things that you want to achieve and being fucking aggressive about it in a healthy way. Reaching for the things that you want and not letting anybody dull your shine because you are a freaking queen. And you need to understand that. You need to get yourself out of your head. You need to get out of this constant loop of overthinking and never actually doing the things that you want to do. I just got goosebumps. Live the life that you want. You have the power to live the life that you want regardless of what is happening in the 3D, regardless of what is happening in the economy, regardless of what is happening in politics, because happiness is habitual and everything is a matter of perspective. That is why people who are naive sometimes have an easier life living. And sometimes they have more opportunities coming to the surface for them, even though they're not as smart as you or they don't work as hard as you. It's all a matter of perspective. There are people in politics, in big businesses that are not as smart as you, and you know that. But you think that being logical is the way to get what you want, and it's the exact opposite. It's merely being delusional, it's merely setting a proper foundation of seeing your goals and not letting anybody stop you. And it is a matter of not setting limitations for yourself because they do not exist if you do not look at them.